Well, I got a little jump on the boys this morning.
It is sheer wall.
Turns out there are deer here,
It looked like a jungle.
or there were deer here. This is probably a,
I'm
what
going back up.
do you think, Shane? Two-year-old shed?
Probably. Nobody likes a show off. We just get out of the truck. We ain't even got started yet. And he's like, I've had one.
We're going to try to show you guys some tips and tricks on what works, what doesn't work, and what you can do to increase your odds on maybe finding your own shed.
I just follow Callahan around.
I walked that fence line from the cut. I went in, caught the fence, walked it down to the corner, and then come back out and found one shed within 200 yards on that fence.
Let us know from where we are on the other side up to that pond. There's a lot of traffic that comes across that high line.
Usually, if they're jumping a fence, they're gonna come back down, and usually that jolt will make one pop off. But you never know; you may hit a tree limb, it may fall off. So follow your traffic trails. What have you found best as far as carrying in the woods for gathering a bunch of sheds?
Well, I know what happens when you do bring a pack. You don't find any sheds. So the idea is we're optimistic today, but
That's why he's got the pack on. I'm gonna go the opposite direction.
yeah, you never find sheds when you bring a pack. But it is nice, like when you're in Montana, or it's all situational to where you're hunting sheds. If I know I'm going to make an 8-mile hike, I'm bringing a pack with me.
Absolutely.
If I'm going to go hunt a 10-acre field, I'm not going to take a pack. But it is nice to be able to strap horns and not have to carry.
Not everybody's got a 600-acre ranch to go shed hunt on.
That's right.
So if you know an area you're going to shed hunt, if it's large, take a pack, put some candy bars in there, water, because usually if you find one shed, you're just going to keep on going. You find another, you're going to keep on going. Before too long, you're 2 or 3 hours into it. Grass. Most of the time, an older shed, it's the same color as the grass. So if you're not within, I try to stay within a 20 foot, 30 foot back and forth. Sometimes if I see a clearing, or I'll look ahead just to kind of glance, but you've got to stay close, because at this angle I can see it. With that piece of grass in the way, I can't see it.
Past it.
Yeah. So as far as that, I can go, oh, there's one.
That's
And
why
then-
I've said too, it's like finding mushrooms. Like once you find that first morel, you'll find a lot more because you're training your eye on what you're looking for.
Well, and then when I find one, I'm like, okay. I try to stop, and I will usually go in a circle in that area for just a little bit. I don't waste a whole bunch of time, because if one side's falling off, if his other side's still on, it may fall off in that area too. So this thing on, forget what it's called, but on Instagram, it'll pop up and it will show what a buck usually his travel is. And walking through the woods, checking scrapes and rub lines and stuff like that, majority of the time they are on those shelves. And
There's little topography changes
Mhm.
that run. Like center line, that's an edge for them. They like to walk those, whether it's a topographical difference or geologic, whatever you call that, or a difference in
topographic-y.
over there. You know, back on that other piece, you're walking through timber, but then you'll see it's like a cedar thicket that runs along, and where that transitions from these oaks into cedars, that line right there is just beat down. They find those edges of small changes. It could be a small change or a big change, but focusing on those, like when you said you're going to walk that shelf, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't understand exactly why
I try to
you know
think
that.
like a deer as much as I can.
Yeah.
Wear brush pants.
Yeah. Ow. There's a tip for you. It's been a year, but brush pants, they're good. They don't allow all these little briars to get all in your jeans and make you bleed to death.